Oh, great. I see my wonderful people. I just wanted to check and join from the other phone, but I can see that the number just popped in, and we have someone. I am walking here around Franz Kafka. He is waiting for you. Everybody is waiting. The huge crowd is waiting for the show to begin. Oh, you can see even me there. Hi. And I'm so excited to see you all. So I will stand here and then, great. Please let me know in the chat if you can see and hear everything. Hello, friend. Hello, Christine. Oh, I was missing you so much. We have a full 5 minutes before we start spinning, walking and talking, and I will be just walking around. It's great that we still have sunny and warm days in Prague, because summer in Europe probably will finish at the end of September, and it's very good. I like this. I like spring and autumn are my favorite seasons. I have birthday in spring, and probably we will plan something with you. I have never arranged birthdays with Heygo or with Beams, or I don't know, on the visual platforms. But this year I will be here, away from Ukraine. And please let me know if you would like to see me on a birthday tour. Actually, I have never joined the birthday tours of hi Larry. I have never joined birthday tours from another guides. Let me know in the chat box what people are usually doing on the birthday tours, because are you going to drink something? Are you going to the cafes? Are you going for a walk? Because should be something special. I don't think that I will be showing you any particular, I don't know, historical landmark, but I really want to meet I don't know, the people who love me, and this is why today I thought that probably I will try to make some kind of birthday stream for you. I see that you are here and more people are joining. Great. Hello, Diana. Hello, Dolores. Hi, Larry, once again. And I'm so much excited to see you all, because I was missing you as well. Oh, Kafka's head began to spin. So it's 7 p.m. and we are just beginning the tour. I was away from Prague. I was away for a couple of days, but I was away from the YouTube and from the stream for, I think, 2 weeks. I feel refreshed. I feel that I have energy to share something new with you. And today I decided to have this relaxed tour. Let me tell you a little bit about itinerary. Thank you so much, Julia, for buying me coffees. Thank you. So we are going to explore the things that I have already shown on Heygo, but we will change the itinerary. We're beginning with Kafka's Head, and then I will take you to the astronomical clock, to the Old Town Square, and you will see some new streets of Prague that I have never shown you before. So we changed the itinerary, but you will see the most iconic and beautiful landmarks of Prague today. And I will be happy to share with you my story, like what I was doing, how my kids are studying in these schools, Czech schools, and I'm going to tell you all this when we will be walking from the new town to the old town. Now we will focus a little bit on the Kafka's Head while it is spinning, and then I will tell you what happened to me during these 2 weeks and where my kids are. What would you like to do on your birthday? Please let me know. I don't know. I just have meals on my birthday. We are celebrating it at home. You know, my children are saying me a few nice things and try to behave 1 year a day in a decent way. And this is all my birthday, but I'm really missing Ukraine, and I want this year to have someone close to my heart, and this will be you. So I will flip the camera. I will show you a little bit Kafka, Franz Kafka and his head, and then I will talk about my family and how I lived these 2 weeks. I will show you the crowd. You know, there are so many tourists now. This is the first reason why they're here. And the second reason is that they will close Kafka's head for, I don't know, for how many months, probably for a winter season, because there is the announcement that the last day it will be operating on the 24th of September. A few words about this fascinating statue. It was created by Czech sculptor David Cherny, and officially it's called Metamorphosis. So it's huge 45-ton statue. It's automated. Inside it has special engines. Separate engine is moving each layer. Altogether there are 42 layers of metal, and they can rotate individually, and they can even synchronize in the form of the Franz Kafka's head. These people, nice people, they will be standing here for more than 10 minutes watching mesmerizing, like what? Who is mesmerizing? The statue is mesmerizing. They are mesmerized with this sculpture, and this is very true. So you can just stand for 1 minute or for 2 minutes in front of the conventional, let's say, picture or statue, but here people are standing for a good 15 minutes to see the sliced 42 layers that keep rotating and moving and making strange sounds. And it's the continuous metamorphosis. It's continuing changes. I think it's a little bit hypnotic movement, and it reflects inner tournament of Franz Kafka, his inner world. I have never read his novels, and let me know if you have read his books, because he was writing quite strange books. He created also giant bronze babies close to Vltava River, like this sculpture. The sculptor who created Franz Kafka's head, he created the babies, the giant babies, and they have the barcodes instead of their faces. And the statues and the things that David Cherny is creating sometimes makes you think about something, and sometimes feels like left you unsettled, because the statues are quite controversial and spooky. Yes, good word, spooky. Thank you, Polly. The book Metamorphosis was written in 1912, and Franz Kafka is quite a famous author here in the Czech Republic. He was writing in German, and and his books, yes, Claire, are not so easy to understand. So the statue is very big. It's kind of officially, I think it's about 12 meters. I think it's even high, and it's very heavy, about 45 tons. The shopping mall Quadrio is paid for Franz Kafka's statue, and they built it in 2014 for 30 million Czech crowns. So this is the most expensive street art object in Prague. And Franz Kafka had a difficult life. He was born in Prague, and he was born in the small old town. So the streets, cobblestone streets of this beautiful city, inspired him, and he was born in a very big family. The kids are running here. So Franz Kafka had 5 siblings, I think, and they all died during the Holocaust. just he survived. His father was working in the insurance company, and he was not kind of an easy man to deal with. And Franz Kafka hated his job, but he liked to write the books, and the literature was his only and single calling. Too big and heavy for the English stag, too drunks to damage. Yes, it's interesting that tourists sometimes try to steal the horser's tongue. You remember this beautiful horse, upside down horse hanging, dead horse hanging from the ceiling, and here they can't steal anything. And there are kind of mirrored cylinders all around the statue and the mirrored platform, and it's not spoiled by graffiti, it's not spoiled by anything. My dear viewers, thank you once again for coming, for joining me today. This is the first tour after the break, and I really love you and sending you my hugs. And this is a surprise for those of you who like my book of wisdom. We're beginning our today's tour with Franz Kafka's head spinning, and I picked one of his quotes, and it's very special because when we will be walking today, I want to share with you a story. It's used by the psychologists to heal people, and probably it will heal someone from you. But it's a good way, a good start of my new, I could say, page. I feel so refreshed, it seems like I had holidays or break, and I really want to start with this quote of wisdom. So I will flip the camera, we will watch this beautiful Franz Kafka's head, and the words that I'm going to show you today, they were written by Franz Kafka. I will explain them to you when we will be walking. And Book of Wisdom is back. This is my first quote of this season. Everything that you love you will eventually lose. But in the end, love will return in a different form. It's quite a long quote today, but it belongs to Franz Kafka, and it has the amazing story. I have amazing story behind this quote, and I'm going to share that with you. I'm sure that some of you heard this story, but it struck me the most. I think this is the most beautiful creation of Franz Kafka. Everything that you love you will eventually lose, but in the end, love will return in a different form. So we are going away. The head will continue moving for a couple of minutes, but we have more things to see and to do. So you need to hunt for David Tierney's sculptures around Prague, because they are all very unusual and provocative. I think this is the best way to imagine what was happening in Franz Kafka's head, because this statue shows his struggles and shows his really inability to understand this world. How do you think why he was writing such strange things? He was writing such strange novels because he didn't understand this world. He couldn't comprehend why things happening, and how he can influence that. He was suffering from insomnia, he was suffering from headaches, he died, I think, from tuberculosis, and he wasn't very kind of happy man, but his story, one story, is very inspiring, and he made a very a wonderful effort to help a child. And let me share with you this beautiful story. So I will start walking, talking, and let me show you the head for the last time, and we will start going to the old town square, and I will tell you Okay, we are going away from here. So this is the story about the doll. Once Franz Kafka was he lived in Prague, but also he lived for some period of time in Germany. And this event happened with him in Germany. He was walking, and in one of the parks he met a girl. The girl was sitting and crying. She was desperate. She, like, nobody could console her. And Franz Kafka asked her, "Why are you crying?" I'm trying to read another quote. I will read this away in G after I finish my story. So Franz Kafka asked the girl what happened, and the girl lost her doll. She was so alone. She didn't have anybody around her to help her. And Franz Kafka told her that the doll is not lost. The doll just went for holidays, went for trip, went to travel. And for 13 years, can you imagine this number? For 13 years, Franz Kafka was going home and he was writing a letter every single night or evening with this kind of a letter from the doll. And next day he would bring this letter to this girl and give it to her, like a postman of a doll is sending these letters to the girl. And there were kind of descriptions of what the doll was doing. The doll began her studying. The doll couldn't come back to the girl because of some kind of events were happening in her life. But this is the real story. Franz Kafka was writing letters in the name, like, for the doll, to this girl. I will show you the street and I will continue on my stories. So the girl was missing her doll so much, and Franz Kafka was giving her something else instead. He was giving her these letters for years and years and years, and the girl was not happy. So these letters created some kind of imaginary world for the girl, and her pain disappeared. She was living in this new reality. And one day, the girl got her doll back. Franz Kafka bought her a doll and brought her a doll, not a letter. Because there was the time for him to leave, and he had to do something. He had to finish this. And he wrote a note that, "I am your doll, but my appearance, my traveling has changed my appearance." And girl, who was a grown-up lady, young lady, believed this story, and she was keeping this doll for all her life. That is an amazing story of Franz Kafka, the way how he treated this poor girl. He was writing the letters to her from her doll for 13 years, and then bought her the doll as a gift and attached this letter explaining that my travels have changed me. It's the wonderful, I think, one of the most wonderful things that Franz Kafka did in his life, because the girl was not mourning her doll, but she was kind of having these trips around the world with her. She was living through these adventures. Please let me know, what do you think about this story, and I will show you once again the quote that Franz Kafka wrote. Everything that you love, you will eventually lose, but in the end, love will return in a different form. So this girl really lost her doll, but she received the love of Franz Kafka. She was receiving the letters every single day, and this love really transformed. She received this love, and this story is a wonderful way for me to open the new chapter of our adventures here in Prague. Autumn is coming, and hope that we lost something. Everybody is losing something, but this love will return to us. And my book of wisdom is back, so some of you are probably happy with this. Like Hey Go Guides. Oh, Julia, you like the story? It's great. Please let me know if you really like the story. It's not philosophical. It's beautiful because it's a real story. It happened. So for those of you who like the architecture, here are the beautiful doors. And you returned, yes, and I returned. We inevitably lose something, but we're heading to the old town, and I will be going a little bit quicker. So I want to show you that Church of St. Martin in the wall, and it was built in the 12th century. And here is a boy who was very mischievous. He was very naughty, and his mom cried at him that you'd better become a stone. And he became a stone, so he's sitting over there. And here, when we're speaking about the boy, I would like to tell you what happened to me and to my kids. If you are interested in my own life, so I will be taking you to another place, to the streets, to the winding streets, and I will share with you my life story. We have this church open from this side, so I will not go inside, but I will show you. It's very unique because you see, it's like inside it has a very monastic view. It's not very rich, it's not Baroque, but it belongs to the 12th century, and it's built in the wall because there were the idea of Charles IV to build the new walls, protective walls around the city. And they didn't demolish the church, but the Church of St. Martin found itself built inside the walls, and you can see that part of the wall, it's still here. And also one of the very important people lost his head here because he was a burgomaster, the person who was keeping the seal of the city. And there was an event when he was taking a bath, and his daughter was playing with the seal, and then his wife just threw the water to the streets, and the little girl put the seal in this water, dropped the seal in the water, and that is how it was lost forever. When the people came here in the street, they somehow noticed the seal, and they decided to punish him. There was the very quick kind of sentence, the court, and they killed him just here because he was not careful enough to keep the seal of Prague. It's interesting that the light is here. So the updates from my life, I took my daughter and went to one of them towns in Czech Republic to begin the education. But when we arrived, she began to cry. She was in despair because the town was so tiny that it was basically kind of a bus stop. There was not a single shop, not a single store in that small town. There were some 3 Vietnamese shops where you can buy something not very healthy, like you can buy the snacks, you can buy the I don't know, chewing gums, chips, beer, alcohol, cigarettes, but the city consisted of just a few small streets, and back then in medieval times that was a stop for the horses, so people would change their horses when they were riding from one city to another city. And for my girl, for my daughter, that was a shock. She couldn't imagine herself to live in such a small city for 4 years, and she decided to not to stay there. The next day she came to Prague with me, and now she will continue studying in Ukrainian school by Zoom or via Zoom, and also she enrolled in the full day courses in Czech language, so she will probably she will try to apply to the university next year or in a year. That depends on how quick we will obtain the documents from the Ukrainian school. So she is going to finish the school, to graduate from school this year, or kind of in year and a half, and then she will try to enter the university. My son, who is her brother, he decided to stay in that Czech school. He is a brave gentleman, and now he lives about 300 kilometers away from Prague, and he has to come for the weekends. He's coming here back home. So we don't know how long we will be able to pay for that study, but his town is a little bit bigger. There is, I think, Lidl or Bila, so there is the supermarket. The problem with Dasha's city was that she didn't have like even opportunity to buy something like I don't know, potatoes, or I don't know, carrots or chicken. So there was nothing like I don't know what people, like how people live there. Probably they have cars and they can travel to the nearest city to buy something like food. But this is the challenging situation when she just I don't know how to describe this, but when you are living your whole life in, let's say, Kyiv has more than 4 million, Prague has 3 million, and you have to live in this very, very, very small place when there is no even a shop, like she was in shock, and I could understand her. Also, you know, these are her young years, and that is why she doesn't want to just to sit there if she doesn't like the place. No, she can't attend the same school because there is the process, like you have to apply for the education, you have to pass exams, and she doesn't want to be an electrotechnician because he's studying in some kind of school with IT technologies, with electrotechnician specialty. So there is basically a school, but they will have kind of a profession after graduation. I'm not sure, but I think that in Czech Republic it's not So they will not have a degree, which is not good. They will have just their certificate that they finished the school. They graduated the school with some additional profession. For Czech Republic, it's okay. For me, it's not okay, because in Ukraine we have different system. The children are graduating from school and then they go to, let's say, college or university, and they have bachelor degree or master degree. I think that my son will not get a degree after this school. So this is what happened in my life. So I was traveling in all these schools, exploring cute Czech cities and trying to settle my kids. Please let me know, what do you think? Was it a right decision or a wrong decision? But actually there are no right and wrong decisions now. I know that for Ukrainian refugees all decisions are just our decisions. This is what I know, because really before I was trying to figure out what is right, what is wrong. Now I understand that we just need to survive and make the best of what we have. Let's go. I'm going to show you a little bit of Prague. Please let me know, what do you think about the changes in my life. So my daughter is with me now in Prague, so I see her every day, and I miss my son very much. That is Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is hanging from the wall, from the ceiling. He will try, yes, Julia, he will try to study there. Oh, the youngest son, he is very naughty. You see, he doesn't want to study. And the youngest son, he is just continuing his school in Ukraine, joining the Zoom lessons, but he is not attending Czech school. Also, for him, it's a little bit easier, because last year he was spending the whole day in school, and then he should come, and then I was pressing and pushing him and pushing to learn Ukrainian lessons. And now he's comfortable with his pace, so he just learns Ukrainian stuff and goes to play. And he was very nervous and very unhappy, I could say, very unsettled when he had two schools, because he was spending the time 5 hours sitting in Czech school and basically sitting like like a monkey, a parrot, because he didn't understand a single thing. And now he doesn't have to do so. He's just enjoying his Ukrainian school, and that's all. But the bad thing about this is that he is not communicating with the kids. He doesn't have anyone. He's just alone. He has me, and that's all. So this is the kind of disadvantage. Here is the time when they just turned on the lamps. So do you notice that I'm walking with you along the new street? I have never shown you this cute street before. This is the famous Italian restaurant. It's called Palazzo. Of course, they serve tasty pizza here and a lot of beer. And this is the Cathedral of Elijah. I don't know if it's open or not. I will try to show you it from the outside. Yeah. Yes, Dolores, it was kind of an easy decision. She was sitting there crying on the street, suffering that she has to stay there like in prison. Then she changed her decision, and when she saw the girls, like she found one Ukrainian girl, she changed her decision. She said, I will go and study there. And she was kind of changing her decisions every single every single minute. So 1 minute she was staying, 1 minute she was coming home, and in the end she decided just to not to stay there. I will go inside. I don't know if it's open or not, but this is the church of Saint Elijah. Let me. Oh, you see, it's open. I have never been here with you before. It's a beautiful Baroque church, and they have. I like the woodwork here, the painters. You know, usually I can talk inside the churches. This church is active. The local time is 9:30, and I could see the people really praying there. The priest was standing and discussing something with the people. So it's open because people are praying, so I decided just not to talk very loudly. But it's always open, you know. Sometimes in Prague you can come and you can find the church, but it's closed. Like, for example, the church of the Saint Jacob with the dry hand. I always wanted to show you this dry hand, but it's even difficult to make the video because it's always closed. Now I am taking you to the beer museum. Not inside, but to the courtyard of famous beer museum. Oh, you see the light is here, and when you go you will see how the beer was made centuries ago, because Prague is the capital of beer production. They have the highest number of this beer consumption in the world. These people are tourists and they are very happy. Entrance only with valid ticket. So I'm not going inside because I will lose you and I don't have a valid ticket. But you can look at the atmosphere. Everything is connected with beer in Prague. Beer is cheaper than water. And you can, yes, if you like beer, you will be happy in Prague. Who likes beer? Drop me a plus. Добрый день. So let's go to the open air historical exhibition. This is how I call the old town square, because now you're going to see not just cobblestone streets and museum, but you're going to see some kind of blend of everything, blend of Gothic, Baroque, Rococo and Renaissance. So we are approaching the museum, outside museum, and the place where the past can come alive. You know what I wanted to share with you? When I was traveling and then I came back here in Prague, there I had a chance to go to the festival of kind of small breweries, and there were the tourists from America, or I don't know, English-speaking tourists, and they said a very interesting thing. So now I feel this when I'm walking and the lights are just on. So one tourist said, I came to Prague because I want to feel like I'm in the medieval ages. And this was the reason why I was looking for that, while he was looking for that holiday. He said, I visited a lot of cities and never and nowhere I met such a real feeling that I'm inside the medieval era. And I think this is very much about Prague, because the big cities like Paris, like Rome, they had a lot of money, and they were changed. The streets, people demolished all their old houses and made the streets wider. Let's talk about Paris. Okay, you remember Paris? You were visiting Paris with Florent and and Patrick. So these are the names of Heygo guides. And you remember in Paris you have wide streets. Because people had money, they demolished them and they built beautiful avenues. I think we in Ukrainian we say Husman, probably it's Osman. Osman changed the appearance of Paris. Or in Austria, for example, also the streets became wider. But here in Czech Republic, they didn't have money for that. So they really didn't change the appearance of the city. And it's so special about Prague. Special because you can really feel that, not feel, you really are inside the medieval city, because all the houses are here, the streets are narrow, cobblestones are here, Charles Bridge is standing. This is what makes Prague very different from other European capitals. The fact that it hasn't been changed. Even Vienna was changed because they really had money. This was the capital of the Austrian Empire, Hungarian-Austrian Empire, and there is something special about Prague. Special because the small old houses are here. I like that you continue your discussion of beers. And we are almost arrived to the old town square. So it's full of people. So people are everywhere. I don't remember the name of them. There is some kind of a disease when a person is suffering and he can't be alone. So if you are suffering from this disease, when you really can't be alone, when you need a lot of people, and when you need them every day, every week, every season, you need to come to Prague, and you will be surrounded by people always. Any day, any season, any month, the people are here. So please let me know if you are If you're suffering from this autophobia, check that in Wikipedia. So when you can't stand being alone and you just need people around you, so you don't have to worry. You need to come to Old Town Square in Prague and you you will not suffer. So that is the beautiful place where the history and the architecture meets. And we are in the heart of the beautiful Old Town Square. Not square, this is the small square, but we will come to the square in a second. Humanity. It's called autophobia. I mean, this disease when you can't live without people. Wayne G is writing, I'm used to being alone most of the time. So then come to investigate Prague at 6 in the morning. You see, tourists are so happy to see me with gimbal. Paris has moved on to a different era and stopped there. Yes, Polly, probably Paris also had this tiny streets and it had different appearance, but it was definitely changed. The roots of this square, they stretch to the 10th century because this is the place where the European trade routes were crossed. And it was growing, and through the centuries, it became the epicenter of the amazing capital. We are coming to the Old Town Square, which used to be a market, a farmer's market. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you, Paulina. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you. The coffees will make me more active and I will plan more tours for you. And this was the place of the coronation procession. It's called Royal Route. This is the place where the uprisings, executions happened. The house that I'm showing to you, covered by sgraffito, was discovered not long ago. So these beautiful paintings were covered for many years by the layers and layers of the painting, and then the historians discovered them, and now we have such a beautiful house with sgraffito. By the way, Franz Kafka lived here as well. Franz Kafka lived in 13 houses in Prague, and it's one of them. And he was born not far away from here. We are talking so much about Franz Kafka. Probably I will show you at the end the house where he was born, because we began the tour with his head. It's so beautiful now. You see, it's insanely beautiful. So imagine that these are not tourists, but the medieval merchants and different sorcerers, magicians. They are wandering along these stone-paved streets. When the horses are riding here, it's really easy to imagine the magicians and the merchants on this square. But not everything that was built on this square survived. Part of the old town hall was ruined during the World War II, but they didn't rebuild it. They decided to leave it as it is. Now you can see amazing old town hall. The buildings are colorful. They have different colors because they were bought in different eras. As they had money, they were buying the new piece of the old town hall. But really, this square has a lot of architectural wonders. But the star of the square is Teen Church and the Old Town Hall. And you can see both of them here. How beautiful it is. It's just amazing. So the old town hall that is in front of you was founded in the 14th century, and it was completed in the 19th century. As I told you, they were buying the houses when they were developing this complex, and it has kind of passages in between the buildings. They built the tower in 1340. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you. It's very high. It's about 70 meters high. Astronomical clock is the main star of our today's show, and this clock, it has always been the symbol of the city. They created the clock in 1410, and the astronomical clock was designed here, was installed by the royal clockmaker. His name was Mikuláš of Kadaň, and also the astronomer helped him. He was the master of university in Prague, and Europe has never seen anything similar before. So this astronomical clock was the miracle, like European miracle. And there is the legend that they killed but actually poked the eyes of the genius who created the clock. The people who worked in this town hall invited him, city councillors invited him and blinded him with the iron pokes. But later they discovered that it is just a legend and nobody killed the master. But the legend is very popular, and tour guides are continuing to tell the tourists this crazy legend. And I really want to tell you also some kind of spooky legend. It's so beautiful. There are beautiful lamps, and really the clock was invented and built in 1410, and there is no such clock anywhere in the world. I think there are 3 working astronomical clocks on the planet, but this one is very beautiful. There is astronomical show that happens every day when this small windows open and the apostles appear in the windows, and the show lasts for 20 seconds. The apostles walk in the windows, then the skeleton rings the bell. He's announcing the death, and all other figures are shaking their heads because they are refusing the death. Actually, this is the incredible medieval show of astronomical clock, and the crowd is gathering here, and many people are already standing. The show will happen in 10 minutes approximately, and the people are waiting for it. It's very spectacular. You know, every cobblestone here has a story. This is a wonderful opportunity to show you Teen Church by night. Usually I begin the tour here when the light is still on, and I finish at Charles Bridge when it is dark. But you see, now we are finishing the tour, close the Teen Church, and that is the beautiful masterpiece of the Gothic architecture. The spires reach for 80 meters and they are different. One tower is wider than the other, and the wider tower is called Adam, and the thinner tower is called Eve, and Adam is protecting Eve from the sun when the sun is just rising. Look how beautiful the square is. I really want to be silent and just show you the amazing Old Town Square. Wow, it's just amazing. Look, old town hall with the illumination. So you can see this rigged edge of the building from this side. This marks the place where it was ruined. So it was a long building. It lasted through this beautiful garden. But now it's just the medieval part that is here. It's very beautiful. That is St. Nicholas Church. It's a Hussite church. And again, we're coming to the Tin Church, which is a symbol of Prague. You know, I was never paying attention to this Marian column. I have never told you about this, but it was placed here, I think, in 2018. So they reconstructed it and they placed it in the 2018. Probably if you've been here before, you have pictures without Marian column.
And I say,
behind the church is the beautiful Tinsky courtyard. So there was the space between the like behind the church, and in medieval ages it served as a hotel for the merchants. So they were renting rooms there, and they were keeping their goods there, paying taxes. So there were warehouses, stables, and even a hospital. The church was built in the 14th century, and the old this courtyard behind the church existed starting from the 10th century, because this courtyard behind the Tin Church was a real fortress, and many wagons with goods entered this court every single day. And the merchants who were paying taxes and staying behind the Tin Church in so-called Tin courtyard, they were under the protection of the king, and they were allowed to pass through the moat and through the walls, and some of them were even living constantly in this courtyard, and they were having their business here in the old market square. And that was the square. Old market. There was the old farmers market. You see, it's so beautiful at night. I even can't say goodbye to you. Please write me something in the chat, because you are so quiet, and I'm showing you really enchanting things. So let's go and see the house where Franz Kafka was born, to wrap up this tour with the place of his birth. I have never shown you this house, and you are going to see it today. Once I showed it to you when we were having the Jewish tour. So that is the place which is not changing. through the centuries. And really, it's like in the bustling city. This beautiful Gothic splendor looks very magnificent. It's really beautiful. At night is amazing. But when I'm here at night, I can easily imagine this customs post and the merchants who were selling the goods here in the 12th century. You know, in the 17th century, even the lightning struck the church, the tin church, and the roof crashed down, and they decided to add some Baroque elements. So when you go inside, so outside it is pure Gothic, but inside you will see the elements of Gothic and Baroque makeover, because you know, the lightning struck the church, the roof collapsed, and it ruined a little bit of interior. I like the towers. There are 8 small spires, 4 on one and 4 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, or even like 8 on each of them. So 8 here and 8 here. 8 small spires. You know, the person, the famous architect, his name was Peter Pallier. He designed St. Vitus Cathedral, he designed Charles Bridge, and also he might have designed the Tin Church, because he was living during this period of time in Prague. And I like the animals, so we are saying hello to Prague horses. Okay.
Kdyby to byla vepřová plec a na ní bylo jenom tak jako 3 mm jako sádla, víc málo, tak já jsem musel přidat masky.
Thank you so much for coming, for being with me today. It was the first tour after my holiday. It wasn't really a holiday, but I feel that I really want to see you. And you know what? I know that really I miss all of you. I miss these tours, and I will continue them. So every week I hope I will be able to plan the tour in Prague with you. And please watch my videos on YouTube. There will be different videos on different topics. I'm going to add something connected with Ukraine, with my life as a refugee here, and also about the places that I visit. I love when you are coming to my tours. Thank you so much for being here with me. That means a lot to me, you know, really a lot. I know that there was a great chapter of my life, Heygo and Beams and all these virtual platforms. And I am going to continue. So thank you for being with me today on my first test tour in the old Prague, and we will have more adventures next time. Franz Kafka, where he was born. Okay. You know, I'm very happy because it's Friday, and I'm going to back. When I go home, I will see my son. This is a strange situation, a strange feeling when you know, when you've been living with your kid for 15 years and then he is leaving the house, but he is not living for good. And the fact that he can come every Friday is just amazing. So I'm a happy mother today. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you, everyone who is supporting me. You can find, if you like the tour, if you like this walking and talking and a little bit of architecture, you can find the links in the description to my tours and in the description of my channel, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm very, very grateful to those of you who are supporting me and helping me to survive. Let me show you again how we are going. So you see, the situation in my personal life is that I am living now with my youngest kid and my daughter. And my son is in Lipnik nad Bečvou. This is the name of the Czech city. Thank you so much for tipping. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you 1,000 times. Thank you. We are entering Jewish quarter, and probably we will not go there today, but this is the house where Franz Kafka was born. This is his head. Oh, it's very dark. I will use another telephone. Just a second. Sorry, I will try to use another telephone to use the lantern, the flashlight. So here we are. Franz Kafka was born here. Kind of a sad face, but with this beautiful St. Nicholas Church. It's beautiful. And there is a lovely cafe with ice cream and Amorino with ice cream, and so you bought me so many coffees that I will be treating myself, really treating myself with coffee after the tour. Thank you. That was challenging to live without you, and we will try to create more content. But also don't forget to watch and like my videos and come to my other new tours. I found a beautiful flower bed to say my goodbyes to you. Thank you so much for coming. See you next time. Probably I will schedule some tours about Ukraine from my home, and I will tell you about some kind of Ukrainian stuff. Love you all and hope to see you next time. Thank you so much, and please watch my videos and like them, because that will help YouTube know that people are interested in my content. The way when you are watching the videos and liking them, that helps me to grow and to attract more new viewers. Thank you. Love you all and goodbye. I will stay here for a couple of seconds. If you have any questions, let me know. I feel awkward, I feel awkward to tell you about my kind of personal life, about the things about the kids. I know that you want to know about this, but I feel like I need to tell you about the architecture and the streets and what we see in front of us. So today I decided to mix that. Please let me know how do you feel about this when I'm telling you a little bit about my kind of personal life and about the place where we are, because I know that you have been on my tours many times and probably you have seen the String Church or Old Town Square before, but really I really don't know how, if I have to go back to Ukraine, how Ilya, my son, how will he live here alone. But we are solving the problems step by step, one piece at a time, and currently everything is okay. I'm a little bit more kind of comfortable and calm, because just before September, probably you felt that I was very nervous. I was thinking how this could happen, where they will study, how will they live without me, and now I feel a little bit relaxed. do what you want to do on your tours. It's a great opportunity. Yes, YouTube channel is my YouTube channel. I really can show you everything. There are some weird YouTube channels where people are showing like how they can, I don't know, cut cabbages. By the way, cooking shows is also another idea for to diversify my content. Love you all and thank you for being there with me. This is so important. I was thinking that I will come today and I will see 3 people. No, there were more than 25, 26. The number was jumping, but still you came to my tours and I appreciate that so much. Thank you for being with me. That means a lot to me. That means that I'm here not alone, and my birthday is coming, so we will celebrate my birthday with me as well. Cooking shows. Okay, see you live for everything. You're so heartwarming and such a pleasant person that you love everything. We are still here. Okay, my dear. Goodbye. Love you all. I am sure that you enjoyed the book, my wisdom book today, yes? And the story of the girl and Franz Kafka. It is an amazing story that Franz Kafka was writing a letter for 13 years as a doll. I think this is his masterpiece. Goodbye. Love you all. See you next time. Goodbye. Thank you so much for buying me coffees, for joining my tours, for supporting me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Thank you for buying me coffees. Thank you.